What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Alatorre. Join the family, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as long as you promise to always keep it positive. I was going through all my makeup and I have one drawer dedicated to all of my friends and their collaborations and the brands that they have come out with. And I thought, why not feature all of their incredible accomplishments throughout the month of March? I'm going to be featuring my friends' collaborations, their brands. I'm so proud of them, and I think the more we support one another, the better off we are together. We're stronger together, better together, and it is a major accomplishment. I'm so proud of them, and I thought, let's feature their products. So if you guys aren't familiar with them or their products, you will be after the month of March. For today's look, I saw a photo of Shay Mitchell, and now that I look at it, it looks absolutely nothing like what I thought it looked like. To me, it looked a little more retro and grunge, and then I look at it, I'm like, that's like a typical classic defined eye. There's like, why did I think it was grungy? And no. So I kind of just took the idea that I had based off of this. The tones are the same, like cool brown tones, but I wanted to do a unexpected cut crease that was unrefined, a little bit grungy, a little dramatic, and this is what I came up with. So if I close my eyes or tilt my head like this, you can see it's kind of like a, what would you even call this? Like a faux cut crease, because it's using the same tones, and I just love the effect it had. It came out way more grungy, and I am living for this look. I used Kristen Dominique's palette. She came out with Dominique Cosmetics, I believe, last year, and her eyeshadows are so good. They're so pigmented. They're also gigantic, so you get a lot for your money. So I decided for today's tutorial I would feature her berries and cream palette. I almost called it the berries and cherries palette. I thought I would feature this palette to create this look. Also on my lips is the iluvsarahiixcolourpop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Sueno de Coco, which is from her most recent collaboration, which was called Through My Eyes, I believe. So two incredible ladies killing it in the game, featuring their products today. I will link them down below, and if you guys like what you see, just keep on watching. Throwing you guys a curveball and starting off with the eyes, but even when I do eyes first, I still have to add a little bit of foundation on the lid and around here, because the whole reason I start with the face first is because it allows me to seamlessly blend my eyeshadow around the eye. If not, I feel like I'm working around the eyeshadow and it doesn't look as blended. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the L'Oreal 24, what is this called? Fresh Wear Foundation, shade 460. I'm actually gonna fill in my brows as well. So I'm gonna dust a little bit of the Mercier Translucent. I'm using a Sephora 93 Pro Featherweight brush. I'm gonna lightly dust the actual brow. So you're going right on top of the brow hair. So that way, when you go to fill in the brows, there's no slipping and sliding, and it goes on really nicely. I'm using the NARS Brow Perfector in the shade Naya. Today I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors Cream Matte Eye Color. This works amazing as a base. This is the color right here. The brush is by IT Cosmetics. It's a number 5 Heavenly Luxe No Tug Dual Eyeshadow Brush. It's got a long name. So what I do is I pick up a little bit of this product because a little bit goes a really long way. So pick up a little bit, and then I start to kind of blend it into the brush, and always start with a tiny bit first, because if you have too much on the brush, it's not going to blend how you want it to. And basically start building that shape that I'm going to do with the powder eyeshadow. And I'm also going to apply a little bit of this eyeshadow to the lower lash line. Same thing, once you have powder and stuff on the lower lash line, shadow just doesn't pop as much, but by doing this, you'll see it'll just pop way more. I'm going to be dipping into the Berries and Cream palette by Kristen Dominique Cosmetics. So we're going to be using Chocolate Mousse, and then the brush I'm using is a Sephora Pro Drawing Shadow Brush, number 41. It's got a really nice fine point, and I'm going to start defining that crease. I'm blending very lightly, so that way the fine point of this brush is really creating that cut, because if you go in too hard or press too hard, you won't get such a defined cut on the crease. And then after that, I'm gonna take a Smith 247 brush, and I'm gonna start diffusing out this eyeshadow up top. I'm not going to let this brush touch that cut right there. We're only gonna blend up here. I'm gonna pick up the blackberry over here from the palette and just define my upper lashes so that they look a little more smoky at the base. And now I'm just gonna tightline with Caviar eyeliner by Just Colors. I'm nervous there with the black, but I was able to save it. I also cut the crease a little more. Next step, it's optional because it already looks pretty blended, but you could also go in with this shadow over here, Soft and Sweet, to further blend out the edges, make them look a little softer. But again, I like that it looks a little grungy. But if not, I'm just gonna show you guys. I would just take, this is a Smith 230. I love that it has a tapered point. And I would just lightly run it across the very edge right here to blend it out, make it look a little softer to your heart's desire. But now I'm just gonna pop on some individual lashes and then apply mascara and then continue on with the face. I'm gonna prime my skin with the CoverFX Dewy Skin Primer because since I did the eyes first, I feel like having prepped my skin, I've lost a little bit of that slip. So I definitely wanna go in with something hydrating. And I'm also gonna be using that same L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation, which can be a little, I don't wanna say it's drying, but you definitely wanna hydrate under a long wearing foundation. And whenever I have a blemish like this that has scabbed and feels really rough, I always wanna extra hydrate that. And whoa, this is like, wow. I was expecting this one to be more like a moisturizer. This is my first time using this primer. And it definitely, it says Dewy Skin Primer Hydrating. So it is hydrating, but like the glow it gives your skin, you can almost use this as a highlight, like very editorial. What y'all can you do? No makeup look now with this stuff. Wow, okay. Wow, I really enjoy this primer. I feel like it definitely gives you more use out of your foundation because it allows it to spread out throughout the face a little more. I'm gonna apply it with my fingers and then blend it out with the Ofra Perfecting Puff. And then to clean up the edge of the eyeshadow out here, I'm taking a concealer brush and just giving it a little cleanup on both sides and then blending it out again with the Beauty Blender. I mean, Ofra sponge, I feel so bad. Sorry. And then to conceal and highlight, I'm using the Sephora High Coverage Concealer in the shade Peach Beige, which to me is like the perfect highlighting and concealing brush for the center of my face. Look at that. Cover up that pimple. We're not gonna let him survive. Before I set with any powder, I want to show you guys a little trick that I'm going to do to make sure that the look is all cohesive, same undertones, cool toned, nothing warm on the face. I'm going to take my lip color, which is going to be the iluvsarahiixcolourpop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Sueno de Coco, and I'm going to use it as my blush. Liquid lipsticks, if the formula is good, test it out first. Work really, really well as blushes, especially over top of wet foundation. So I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. See how perfect the color is to match this look? Oh, it's so good. And I'm gonna pick it up on that Ofra sponge. I'm gonna apply it to the cheeks. You could do this after powder, but because it is a liquid lip, you wanna make sure it just blends out really nicely. So doing it over top of wet foundation before you set works really, really well. And after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and set. I'm going to use my Laura Mercier powder and sort of press it in underneath the eyes. Oops, what did I just drop? I'm gonna press it underneath the eyes. And then everywhere else, I'm gonna set with a brush. Also, now that we've set with powder, we can go ahead and fix the lower lash line. So going back into the Berries and Cream palette, I'm gonna use the lightest brown that I was using to blend out the outer edge of the shadow. What brush do I wanna use? Smith 230. I'm gonna pick up this color right here and I'm gonna run it along the lower lash line to make it look a little softer and a little smokier. And then picking up the darker brown and adding it to the outer edge of the lower lash line just to connect that color right here. So I'm gonna move on to bronzing and I'm gonna use my favorite bronzer that I cannot seem to put down, the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude Fusion Powder in shade 6.5. I've already hit pan on this one too. Maybe it's not worth it if I use it that quickly, because some of my other bronzers I use just as much and I've never hit pan, but with this one I feel like you hit pan pretty fast. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use the other side of this hourglass brush to bronze up my skin. I feel so glam right now, and it's like Saturday morning. Raining, not going anywhere. Ooh, I need to blend that. See how it's like a little dark in the inner corner? I'll show you guys how I'm gonna blend that. I'm gonna take that same Giorgio Armani powder, but in my actual skin tone, shade 5.5. And another clean Smith brush. You guys, I love these brushes. Smith 232, Smith 230 I use for everything. Multiple brushes in one tutorial. I'm gonna pick up this powder, and I'm going to blend out the shadow where it doesn't look blended. So this inner corner, a little bit out here. Any foundation powder will work for this. You just want it to be the same as your foundation color, your skin tone. I want this look to be a little more matte versus super, super glowy. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna miss myself anyway. Very lightly. Because regardless, a highlighter just goes on way better on slightly dewy skin versus powdered skin. And then the palette I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna dust it on the cheeks as well, is this NARS Exposed Cheek Palette. I just love this palette. I feel like all the colors in here I would use, and I pretty much have used all of them. I'm gonna use this one to highlight, and I'm gonna top my cheeks off with this one over here. I love the finish that these have. They're not, they're glossy, but they're not super bam in your face. A little more natural, even though they don't look super natural, but you know what I'm saying? They look a little more subtle than some of my other highlighters. And then with my blush brush, I'm gonna add this color, which I don't know what it is about this color. I love it. I feel like it looks a little bronzy on camera, but it's almost like a deep mauve color, which looks so gorgeous on the cheeks. Brow gel, I'm using the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Nothing new here. And then for mascara, I'm gonna use Too Faced Better Than Sex on my upper lashes, Voluminous in Brown Black on my lower lashes, and then we will reconvene for the lip. Let me just pop in my hoops real quick now that this makeup is done, because I cannot do makeup with big earrings like this. I feel like they get in your foundation or you get foundation on them, but we're good to go now. Just gonna add the lip, and I'm so happy that, or what it looks like Colourpop has made Curvii lip pencil permanent. It was originally one of the colors that Karen iluvsarahiixcolourpop came out with one of her collabs. By the way, I just ate a piece of chocolate while I was changing the battery of the camera. I'm like, do I have chocolate between my teeth? And I was going through my pencils because they sent over a bunch recently, and I kind of just eyeballed my favorite looking nude, and I pulled it out, and it's Curvii. So I think they've made it permanent. I love this nude. I feel like it's so versatile, and it's like the perfect neutral nude. It's not warm. I love it. And then for the lip color, I'm using that same iluvsarahiixcolourpop Lippy Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Sueno de Coco. One final little step. Had to cover up. This pimple has been bothering me so much, and of course, at a time when I'm filming back to back to back, I decided to pick up my face and create the giant mountain on my face. Don't pick at your pimples. It's always way worse and harder to cover because it's textured, it's inflamed, but turning it into a beauty mark is always a plus. So this is the Tartiste Double Take Eyeliner in brown. I think brown always looks a little more natural and mole-like, or like a beauty mark versus a black. And that completes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It turned out to be a little more grunge than anticipated and a little more monochromatic, but I absolutely love it. I think it is definitely like a statement look. Like I said, when you close your eyes or turn your head, you can see that cut crease, and I think that's super, super cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Check out my friends, iluvsarahiixcolourpop, Karen, and Chris and Dominique. I'll link their Instagrams down below as well as their YouTubes. They are incredible. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, give it a like, share it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.